lies whether or not Yak has success doing those weird bombs. And I want to see, has he really figured it out? Is he just on lock now? Does he jump in when it makes sense? Because he can be very powerful. He can devastate the team if he has the timing right. But if not, he just gets punished so hard. But we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Venomcrest Pythons versus our lovely contenders here on the other red team. So
League
take it away.
Yeah, League of Shadows, the other contenders. We're starting off on Snakewater. It's going to be two double soldier bomb, actually. Tyram and Kayan getting a lot of space. They're actually going to pick up Rons very, very quickly. Oh my god, Nutters gets destroyed in the air, but Tyram is still in. Gets some damage down towards Delhi and June, but they're going to stay alive for now, but they don't have the players around them. Flick is very, very low as well, so they're going to have to back out to second at least. They're wanting to hold the choke, wanting to contest it, and they know that there's a couple of players stuck capping on mid, so they're not going to push it just yet at Venomcrest, but they do have control of the midpoint.
Yeah, Tyram, I think he wanted to maybe see if he can get onto the medic, but Flick was already on the fence just waiting to knock him back. There was no help for Tyram at all, no one to make any kind of distraction, so he just backs off, and we're going to be settling into our first stalemate, both medics surviving that mid. It was a pretty explosive start to the mid. Sometimes you see both teams take it quite slowly, just feel each other out, but not this time around. Rons goes down very low. I think it was Tyram or maybe even KN. They just hit some really nice directs on him. No big deal. They're going to just heal back up and come back in here. Dro's going to jump in very aggressively. Actually gets taken down by a sticky trap, and now KN has made it behind, so he's going to be pulling everyone out of position maybe.
Yeah, he's in a really awkward position to deal with. KN just sitting in cheese, turning some heads. They're going to trade Ubers actually. It's a slightly longer Uber here for the side of League of Shadows, but I don't think they can chase any frags with it. They still have Duo out of the fight, so they've had to give up a lot of position. Everyone's low as well. Zoe gets picked up. Delhi's down to 29 health. They're going to back up to last, but they still have a player down, and Venomcrest can push this if they want to. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it was a very clean Uber there. They just rotated around, had slightly better heals, and they just bullied them out. And it just got... League of Shadows, they just completely gave up on that second point. They didn't want to have anything to do with it. Didn't even want to take the fight. So maybe that's very smart. Maybe that's a bit too passive. They're not even wanting to take the fight. So now they're stuck here on last. And we all know Snakewater last is notoriously difficult to push out of. And we already have the sentry gun in the position. It's not level 3 yet, so it's not as devastating as it can be, but it's still annoying. And this is the hold in TF2 right now that's just ruining my life.
Yeah, this seems to be the one that most of the teams have got nailed to a T. They seem to have worked it out. And sadly at the moment teams don't seem to have worked out a great way of consistently breaking it. It just seems to be very, very strong, standard kind of medic forward with a dispenser. The sentry gun just kind of sat in the middle of the park. It's getting spammed at the moment, but Tyram will actually pay for his life with it. So that damage he got down on the sentry wasn't worth too much. Rons has gone down as well. He's going to spawn up just a little bit quicker. But yeah, at the moment, Venomcrest just backing out to second, making sure they have their players, but actually they're just going to walk into Flick's sightline. KN there gets domed. They've again traded Duo out for it though, so we keep seeing a player traded here or there. Juno going down, so a little bit of scrappy fighting towards the lobby. No one seems to be able to stamp any kind of authority on the lobby at the moment.
Yeah, it's. I think we're in for the long haul here. I see a conch. The Battalion's backup got banned, I believe, this season, so can't do that anymore. But conch is pretty good as well. It's the second, it's the second banner that's also pretty fast at building, and it also has a passive effect. You get a slight heal whenever you wear it. So it's almost as good as the Battalion's backup, but it is a bit different in that the Battalion's backup, you can kind of walk through a choke, you can tank it a lot of damage, whereas with the conch, you can just run through it, and they're actually going to pop through. They already have it. Going to Uber in with conch as well, not saving it after. That's very interesting.
They catch Delhi as well with the Uber, so there's going to be no demo in the post situation. Tyram's going deep as well. He finds Zoe in the spawn as well with the help of the conch. So now they have so many picks. They're just going to be able to walk on the point, take it very, very easily. That was a very, very well executed conch push there.
Yeah, the Uber pushes have just completely gone the way of Venomcrest Pythons. They have been so dominant in those. Like first they bullied League of Shadows out of second, and now they just very casually just completely outmaneuver them using a banner and everything to just completely outmaneuver them, get that point. It's 1-0. Very, very convincing win by them.
Very, very smart, just catching them cold there. And now we move into another mid. Going to see again Soldier Aggression coming in from Venomcrest KN. Sorry, we're going very, very deep. Gez does get cleaned up and doesn't get too much damage for it. So now suddenly the French players can walk forward. Yeah, Poise caught. Yak is at the moment hiding. He's going to jump in, go for something desperate onto June. June goes down to 50 health and runs into 2 scouts, unfortunately. These 2 scouts can actually continue the fight. Nuthouse now going very, very low. Wants to contest. He was 5 health. Somehow flicked in a shot that did 3 to him. He's knocked down to 2 health, but eventually he's cleaned up.
Yeah, he shouldn't have survived that long. Very unfortunate there for June that he was unable to stay alive. I love, by the way, that Yak is like wearing the stupid plane hat or misc or whatever. It's just the full body plane. It's the perfect hat for him. It's really, really ugly. And whenever I look at him through the walls, it looks like he's has a skirt or he's a duck or something. But yeah, the plane's good. We have Dro in very aggressively on the point, just stunts him through the ground. These Stiggies might even get him. Oh my god.
Oh, there's so many pipes landing so close to Poi, but none of them hitting roller damage onto the medic. And there's 3 down now actually for League of Shadows. Venomcrest want to press the issue. They know they have those picks. They know they can get aggressive. They pick up Deli as well. And this soldier in the air is not long-lived either as well. Rod's going down as well. Tiram on the chase maybe wants to get something towards June, but it seems the spawns are just about in time. But they're going to have to give up mid at least.
Yeah, it's really a matter of will they use Uber to actually defend secondary. Now they have to. They're in so deep. There's no way they're getting out without using this Uber. But can they actually get onto Poi? And looks like the answer is yes, they do eventually force out the Uber. They're going to have to see if they can run back to last. June actually does make it somehow. Ron just puts his body in front of him, and they're actually holding on to this perfectly. They just barely got this. Poi might not be able to get out. Okay, he does get out. But Yak's not going to be able to make it. That was such a good hold there, using that Uber to hold on to second.
Yeah, it looked very, very ropey. They had to scatter back to just about got out of there when the explosive classes were able to just punish those players that had dropped to the low ground. Is nice collapse in the end from League of Shadows, and they needed it because so far the traffic has been going in the other direction. Finally, they have a bit of momentum. They're going to take control of the mid cap. They've actually got a bit of an Uber advantage as well. As we say, Poi did get out of there, but wasn't building optimally, so Jude has quite a big advantage here. I don't know if they'll know it necessarily. They're looking to press it in, and actually Ron finds a nice little rocket onto KN on that little pipe and finds a lot of space as well. They're just completely bullying them out here. There's not going to be any contesting, and Tiram gets picked up as well. So with 2 picks now, they can continue to press.
Oh, they still have the ad, and they know it. Look at that. They're just going to go straight in, take the Yak down with some nice directs. They can put pressure onto the Poi. Poi only now going to get the Uber. He's going to get popped off, but he pops first. So this is such a dicey situation right now for Venomcrest Pythons. They need to just stick together right now and get some picks. Otherwise, League of Shadows, they're going to go down here. And they are. Look at that. 1-1. Really strong comeback. Winning those Uber fights, that's really important right now for League of Shadows, because that is where they were just faltering so hard.
Yeah, a bit of taste of Venomcrest's own medicine. Just League of Shadows doing a great job picking off a few weak players at the tail end of those crazy fights, and just continuing to press forward and forcing Venomcrest to defend. A couple of players here or there down is very easy for them to press it in. But as we move on to a mid-fight 1-1, we're all tied, 10 minutes gone, so still quite a long time this game. Again, Soldier Aggression, but it's baited out, although Zoe just kind of eats a rocket, kind of bots into that, and Deli going low as well with KN in the backlines. This is looking a bit dodgy. KN's going to find 1 rocket onto June, but that medic's going to get out of there. Poi's actually really, really randomly far forward. And Deli gets cleaned up as well, but yeah, June is very, very nicely out of there, and it's going to be Venomcrest taking this mid fight.
Yeah, it's just Duo behind lines. He might just go onto this scout. Yeah, he's going to actually contest mid. This is so annoying for Venomcrest to deal with. Looks like Duo's eventually going to have to get out of there. That's very unfortunate that he's not going to be able to block that. And they actually have an Uber fight on second now as well. Again, see June just barely manages to get out. I love how almost in he is. He's almost getting caught every single time with these Ubers, but he's not getting caught. That's basically how you want to play it.
Deli with the big balls just walking forward, not being scared of Yak at all. But Yak finds a pipe onto Zoe. Zoe probably should have been scared. There is a back cap on. It's one of the scouts. Oh my god, in the house.
Oh,
just
not house.
Dunks on Flick and caps it out. 2-1, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know. That should not be able to happen. Like, Nuthouse was alone. And he just chewed up the entire combo. Just no problem. Pow, pow, pow. 1-2 shots, all of them. And he caps it out, so that's some heroics right now for a wonderful Scout High, aka Nuthouse. We're back to 2-1. Favor VNC.
We'll have to see, moving on, we'll have to see if they can deal with this soldier aggression. It's the same kind of area as well. Very, very high from KN. Lands perfectly on June, kills June instantly. Poi has been traded out in the meantime, but it seems the health advantage here is for Venomcrest. Both the scouts are nice and healthy. They're on the high ground, but can Juno actually walk in? No, he can't. Gets cleaned up by Zoe. Tiram is probably going to be found out as well. Going, actually, well, it was very, very scrappy, but it seems that Zoe and Flick actually have won that scout duel overall, just hitting a little bit more damage and being a little bit closer together.
Yeah, sometimes that's all it takes, and Tiram a bit too weak to actually go in there and finish up the fight. It's always annoying when you have this 30-ish HP scout just standing on mid capping it out, but when you only have 100 HP on soldier, you can't really contest that. We have a very aggressive play here on the grass area. VNC, they are trying their best to hold this, and Juno goes down to a bunch of stickies. That was just a big carpet going on. And I think, yeah, Deli's going to come in here on point, and he takes him down. Huge play by him. He's going to pay for it with his life, but it is worth it. Actually, there's only 3 alive right now. June's going to have to be careful. He could get caught out here.
Yeah, not too much health for Venomcrest, but they do have 4 damage classes against just the single Flick, and that's actually going to allow them to get the force. Tiram jumping in deep, throwing his life away, but getting the force for it, just knowing that was kind of what was on the table, what his objective was. Finds it perfectly, and Poise spawn, so it's going to be essentially even-ish Ubers.
Yeah. If anyone pushes on that, it's because they have crits and I haven't noticed, and I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have crits. Yeah, doesn't look like it. So, really important play there by Tiram. Going in there, getting the medic force out. He's going to come back with the cons as well. It worked the last time around, we saw it, right? Flick goes down. KN. Actually, last time the cons got built super duper fast. And one thing I've noticed with both of these teams is that they like to play really far forward. Some teams like to sit back, make sure that, you know, when you get close to them, they just spam you out, and then the scout will just pick you off in the air. Whereas these two teams, they hold close, so you can't even like get in through the initial door right away. And you can see Tiram actually goes in there, gets a kill, and probably even more importantly, a lot of damage going on because, again, these teams, they play really far forward. Very interesting situation.
Yeah. The conch is going to come out. They're trying to walk in through catwalk using that conch. Tiram's found some space. He's going to jump in, but Deli gets a trap onto KN, I believe. Zoe finds Tiram as well, so no soldiers in this fight. It's going to allow this time League of Shadows to press forward, and Deli sees the players in front of him, has them in his sight. Flick is going to run in. He gets destroyed by Yak, though. Yak finding perfect sticky pipe onto him, and the force does come out of June. June's actually very, very low for this post fight as well.
Yeah, he broke his ankles there, just falling down. There's no way he's getting out. June's getting chased as well. Might die. Soldiers so close. Yeah, June down. There you go. Tiram's gonna. Maybe he was even just be an even bigger hero. Imagine if he takes down the medic and blocks the second point. Not today, so he takes him down. Gonna get the cap out. June is maybe gonna try some heroics. He's not on sniper or engineer or anything.
Yeah. Well, I was watching along with you, June, go down. As it seems the League of Shadows collapse was actually very, very nice on second. Just Ron's jumping in and finding the cleanup on a bunch of players there. Probably not expecting him. But as it is, it's settled. It's kind of shaken out that relatively even Ubers. League of Shadows now take control as second. Again, neither team has like a really strong hold on lobby. They're looking to move towards it, but at the moment there's just kind of spam stickers from either side. Soldier going in, and he's going to jump straight back out of there.
I can't believe you survived that. You never survive that kind of stuff. I guess he's going to be the exception to that rule. As we have the sentry up in the spot again. I want to say it's a bit too far to the right. Is this a new thing? Soldier actually gets in onto the medic. Second Soldier goes in, gets boosted really, really, really high. He's going to try and sync stuff up. Okay, takes down the sentry gun. I guess that's something at least. Yeah, not how it's going to survive on 2 HP. I don't know. Am I crazy or was that gun too far to the right to look at the drop down?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it did its job, which is it did shoot down the players who jumped in. It shot the sacks in as well, but yeah, I think it was all right in the end.
All right, so we're back here. We don't see any banners. I don't think I haven't heard any. All right. So what do you think we can expect? Just more soldier suicide? Do you think maybe? Oh, that answers that. That's one soldier down. The second soldier is in way deep. Is being bullied by a scout. Juno, come on, man. Oh, actually dies. That's funny.
I was gonna say, if Juno lived that after missing literally everything on a standing still soldier, would have been crazy. But he does pay for his beef, and yeah, we'll be going down there, but it doesn't matter too much in the end. Ron's just bought a little bit more time, and obviously with that trade out means no opportunity for Venomcrest to push if they would have even wanted to. But as you say, maybe, I mean, I'd like to see a sniper here at this stage, but we're actually going to see the defensive sniper from Juno.
Yeah, and it's just gunboats as well. I'm always looking out for the what are the booties called? I can't remember. I always forget.
Mantreds,
yeah. Those can be pretty good to just deal with the sentry gun, but I don't know. A lot of players don't like it. Actually, we get the suicide out here. They do get the force out of June. June is super weak. I was not paying attention, and neither was League of Shadows here, as they are just being pushed back. And look at this. This is a team that's actually pushing out a last. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I was expecting the sniper to start doing work, and he did hit a headshot. I think that opened up a lot of space for Tiram, who just kind of nutted on them. But as it is, they have got the force here out of Poi, but Yak's kind of just launched himself in the air, having absolutely nothing to shoot at there. Sad times for him. They want to press forward, though. Yak walking in through kitchen. He's kind of alone, isolated at the moment. Going to have to rely on defensive stickies around him and rely on the rest of his team to push in with the couple of picks that they do have, including that important one onto Flick. There is contesting coming out, but Duo actually just jumps into Yak stickies. Deli eats a pipe as well, but he's nice and healthy, so yeah, they're not going to take the mid-fight here, and League of Shadows, they see players running back and they want to press the issue.
Oh, Yak getting taken down there. That bomb in from Deli was just nasty. Did so much damage, bought so much space, takes down the demo man, cannot escape in time. They're going to just be rolling in onto last. They have a slight Uber ad. They're just going to play the point, force everyone to get onto it. I love it, but they drop Flick. That's really huge. That's going to make this Uber so much more difficult. Juno almost gets taken down, but he's a heavy, so he's doing all the damage in the world. Eventually, every soldier's going to go down. Just going to be a matter of how many players are going to go with them. Not a lot, because Yak is hitting his pipes today. He's had very, very good aim so far, and that's a good hold. And Poi didn't even have to use Uber.
Yeah, I think crucial air shots out of both Yak and KN there saved that. It did look very dicey for just a minute, but there you go. The MGE practice being put into work, being fully utilised, and now they continue to press the issue. Tiram is finding again a lot of space on this flank, moving through Sword. There is a scout though in the back lines looking to sneak in. Zoe's going to be on the back up while the fighting happens on mid. The pick onto Duo is meant that actually whether they'll contest or not we'll have to see, but Flick just needs a pipe or Sticky as he walks in. They do just
the
about
backhand works. Oh my god, and again, Zoe. These scout backcaps are nasty. They just 1v2ing and 1v3ing people. Now he's going to run onto last. No one's there. It's over. Tim's going to spawn. Not in time, I can already tell you. And there we go. 2-2. 2 back caps right now. That's going to hurt so badly for Venomcrest Pythons. Just the fact that... no, wait, sorry. That it was high the last time around. They got that back cap. So they've done 1 apiece. But man, the scout back caps are real today, Dave.
That was a nuts one as well. For that to go like that did was crazy. Just the block just about perfect time, and then Zoe to win a 1v2. Absolutely nuts. But as we go on to the next fight, again we're seeing Kane and Tiram press up on this one, kind of right hand side from their perspective. But it's so aggressive from the League of Shadows. They just go forward. June and Deli are hiding in kitchen at the moment. They see KN forward. Duo is just zoning out the scout nut house as well. So Kane is in, finds a pick onto Deli. The scout's in as well. But oh my god, no. Duo just about defending June well enough there. And they will scrape through, and I think possibly for the first time we're going to see an advantage of a mid-fight.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see, and Duo with the 4K there doing a great job of just playing around his medic. June, I'm sure she just said, everyone come to me, I'll give you heals, you protect me. And they're in right now. Soda takes a nice rocket. He's not going to be able to do much. He's going to see if he can get out. He cannot. Tyrion goes down. You know, he was playing in China there, hoping to get some sort of sneaky jump onto a medic, but he got sniffed out immediately. This is another push onto last.
Yeah, straight through lower late pop as well. They're just going to sit on the cap there. The sentry gun can't clean that corner. And the Uber did come out of point, but it wasn't in time. There were just too many players playing the cap, and there we go. It's actually going to be League of Shadows now going up 3-2.
Yeah, this has been so back and forth. I can't tell who's in the lead here. And we have 8 minutes remaining, and for once in Snakewater, 8 minutes, I'm going to say that's fine. It's a lot of time in this game. It's been really back and forth, lots of action. These teams play quick. They push on advantages. It's crazy, Dave. We have a good Snakewater game.
Yeah, it's different mid-fight now. They're going across the left-hand side. Venomcrest. They're going to find not house though, surely. Yeah, it does get taken out. Rons takes out Yak as well with the aggressive bomb. But everyone's so low on League of Shadows. I don't know if there's going to be anyone alive to clean those players up. Kane's in the lower kind of area. Rons actually kind of dies under absolutely no pressure there. I don't exactly know what happened, but KN could provide a nuisance, but at least...
Oh, he's going to see if he can sink them. Oh! That was pretty sneaky. I like that.
Went for it, yeah.
Yeah. You know, it didn't work out, but he tried his best. That could have worked. That would have been really cool. It was still cool, but it didn't work out. So there you go. We see June building quite quickly, and it is because it's a Crits Creek. There you go. They're actually gonna
7-2.
Yeah.
Trying to peek in through this left side, the big job, but Yak is zoning them out at the moment. They find a pick onto Tiram, traded out for Flick, but they're gonna have to play around this large attitude. So weak. Not going to be able to work with a large health pack, but now they're up at 100% crits. It's going to be onto Delhi, I imagine.
We've seen Delhi hit some big crits on Snakewater before, so why not? But they need to be pretty quick here. They're kind of taking their time. I don't know why they went in that aggressively on 70% crit streak. Now they've lost the Uberad, so I guess you can just hope to still cast them by surprise. It wouldn't make sense to be on crits here in the way they played, so that can work out for them, right? But obviously we still see Yak just holding that joke where you want the crits in through. So things are going to get difficult. Soda has spotted them out. Rods gets taken down. To in the skybox and in the grave as well. Is it going to be a crit through the door? I think it might be. Yeah, it is. But a single soldier in the door is basically shutting it down right now. Oh, that's tragic. They get one guy, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure it was Delhi that got the pick with the crits, and they didn't even force Poi out as well, so now they have an Uber, now they have Conch in hand with KN this time actually, so everything's suddenly flipping around with that crits not working out, and Venomcrest have an opportunity to push out. They've got 6 gamers up, they've got buffs on most of their players. Oh my god, Rons just gets juggled in, but gets an easy force out with Yak having no scout too close.
So is behind. He's in on last. There are 2 players there, but we know how little that can matter sometimes. He's going to eventually get fought off. But now the people coming from the front, the crit streak is in. And they're just taking so many players down on both teams. It's a fight on second point. 2 scouts versus the world. Scouts tend to win that, but Flick eats a big rocket. Oh, it's a second one. But a surviving scout is going to be here. Yak will spawn on last, though. Right? No,
he's not on last. He's
oh, no, he's not a spawner. He's not a spawner. Everyone else going to need to get in there quick. Oh, they do.
Yeah,
where is Yak, then?
Yak was just randomly saw. I don't know
that.
exactly how he worked it out there. It's KN who did most of the damage during that kind of fight. As it is, Zoe picks up Nutside, so that is 2 picks for the side of League of Shadows. They can work with that if they want. They're going to move in through the big door area. Delhi taking a lot of damage, but they have those 2 picks to work with. Tiram is in a little bit of trouble as well. There's a heavy, but it's been focused out super impressively. Poi is going to get cleaned up by Zoe as well. Everyone's just kind of meleeing on the point, but Yak probably will find himself in prime position to just put sticky after sticky after sticky. Cute little frag for June, and June will escape for now.
Going for the big play. No. Yeah, not gonna work. I don't blame him. Is June a girl or a guy?
I think they use she, her, but I'm not 100% sure.
Alright, I'm just gonna assume it's a girl. Alright. Did a play. Didn't quite work, but I don't blame her for going for it. Oh, Poi's actually getting jumped right now by Rons. It's not quite enough. But he gets out, so it's fine. Ubers are even once again. Nobody cares. They are just in. I love this, Dave. They just keep on pushing and sending players in all the time. There's no idle moment. It's just go action, go all the time. And I'm here for it.
Yeah, you'd think 3-2 up, only 3 minutes left. Having control of the opponent's last, they'd just be happy to chill, just slow it down if they want. But at the moment, they're really not doing that. And Venomcrest know that they can't slow it down. They need to put the accelerator on, and it's going to be a trade out in cheese. Rons is going to find some space as well, but he's actually going to find a whole enemy team. Oh, but Poi gets launched in the air, gets cleaned up as well, so June's heals and June's Uber is going to be the crucial thing.
Actually, Flick is hitting.
Yeah, they can continue to pressure because Yak is in the low ground and there's no spawners for a couple of seconds here. Yak is going to have to do it all. No, the soldiers come just about in time to block the point. Flick is still nice and healthy though and has the help of Duo, who's going to jump in. Judy surely can win this, but there is Rons as well. Both the soldiers spawning this time for League of Shadows, and that's going to be enough. Goes to 4-2, and that's probably GG though.
Yeah, this could be the nail in the coffin for VNC's dreams. They started out so strong, but now it's looking mightily difficult. That was pretty crazy that Flick just lived through all of that. He just won it by having basically soldiers come in repeatedly and sacrificing their life for him to get through. But we need 2 quick rounds right now for VNC, so let's see how they decide to play this mid. Hopefully quickly.
Yeah, Tiram went for a quick flank and Kane went for a quick bomb, but both have been cleaned up, but it's provided space for Nuthouse and Judy. They've got 3 frags already, but Poi and Yak are both going to get punished for it. And yeah, there's still the 2 scouts for the Venomcrest side. They're probably going to get clean up onto Duo. They're going to get the cap down, but I don't think that was decisive enough for this to really stay in contention.
Yeah, the key to getting a quick win is to, number 1, keep your medic alive, and number 2, keep your scouts alive and cap as quickly as possible at all times. And they did keep the scouts alive, but not the medic, and that's going to enable them to actually contest the second point. Okay, that's going down. Tiram, let's see if we can get onto the medic here. Gets 1 nice rocket, gets a second splash one. Scouts are trying to needle their little shots in there. But somehow, again, June just survives. He's been surviving a lot of these confrontations over and over again. I've been really impressed with how she almost gets caught every time, but never quite. It's it's quite the balancing act.
Yeah, they're looking to move it, and they're looking to at least get 1 round back here. There is the sword out for Delhi, but it's not going to be enough. So there we go, a 3rd round. It's going to go to 3-4, but sadly that That ride, as nice as it was, is going to be in vain.
Indeed. But it is going to show us just how close the game is. It's going to be more representative of how the game went, I feel like. So I'm pretty happy that we saw that round. And, you know, the loser team's going to get just that bit of momentum going into the second map. That was hectic and fun and lots of pushing and back and forth. It's been a long time since I've seen a Snakewater match that I enjoyed as much as this one. I don't know about you, Dave. Maybe you've been more lucky than I am. But that was
for sure.
that was exciting for me. It was great. Like watching people push out of last. Like already, I'm a fan.
Yeah, it's good to see. They really didn't stop. Every time they would, even if it wasn't necessarily working out, they were always doing something. They were always trying to make stuff happen, and they really, neither side played with any fear. You could tell that they were happy to push out. They were happy. The odds fight would definitely go against them here and there. The odds misplay would happen, but it wouldn't. They didn't change their playstyle whatsoever.
Yeah. We have logs. I hope, because my logs are not loading. Alright, okay, but... Alright, okay, I'm just gonna look on the stream, I guess. Thank God for technology. I don't know how Dr. Underscore is doing it, but he's doing it, so you guys get basically more information. He's pressing the buttons. I like it. So I don't know what you're seeing here, Dave, but I'm seeing some scouts with some fat frags on at least the VNC side, and then
both scouts. Well, all four scouts really doing quite a lot of work. I mean, it's pretty close overall. The logs, you have to say. Yak doing a little bit more than Delhi in terms of frags, at least, but I think the big difference here is Rons just has so much more damage than everyone else. Over 10k damage, possibly. Not getting the kills. You'd imagine with it. 19 and 27 means he was certainly in that action a lot, doing a lot of damage for his team, taking a lot of damage as well. But yeah, all action soldier performance there from Rons.
Yeah, very, very strong performance. I've always thought he's very good. I mean, Dro for that matter as well. I think Dro's sort of sneakily good here with 22 and 23. That's good for a roamer. Those are good roamers, especially in Snakewater. On Gollywash, I wouldn't be that impressed, but Snakewater is more difficult to do that, I feel. So it's a good stuff from him overall. But yeah, lots of chaos. If you just look at the mid-fight stats, you can see how scatterbrained it is. Very difficult. Damage almost the same. It's like 500 different kills, 5 different. Actually, in the favor of VNC. So you can't look at the stats and say that's why they lost and won in this.
Yeah,
you can't look at it from stats.
I think the other thing about the mid-fight stats is it shows that I think there was definitely an adaptation from League of Shadows. They kind of saw what Venomcrest were doing. The first kind of 3 or 4 mid-fights were all pretty much the same, and eventually they adapted. And that's the thing, when you have games that are like 1-0, 2-1, that kind of thing, you have a low number of mid-fights in a game, you can essentially control a game just by winning a couple of mid-fights here and there. When it's more back and forth like this, you have to have different kind of mid-fights in your arsenal, and the first kind of mid worked very, very well for Venomcrest, but when they changed it up, it was much less successful.
Yeah, it's true. Also, one thing I think that changed a lot was just the fact that the Uber fights, they started out in the favor of VNC really heavily, and eventually it just seems like what I noticed was that June was just constantly almost getting caught and getting out, so she could get back in. And I think maybe that's the key, right? Playing just really razor edge, kind of almost too far in, but not quite. And it made people overextend and get slightly out of position, and then they were able to clean up. Whereas for the first kind of Uber fights, they were just backing off too much, and now they were more willing to take space in the Ubers. So yeah, very, very cool. I was going to call it a chess match, but that's probably giving it too much credit. It was a chess match on crack, if it was anything, at least.
Yeah, it's like chess boxing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there was some strategy there, but they're also just punching the hell out of each other at the same time. And yeah, we're moving on to process now. We'll have to see. Yeah, it probably won't change the pace of things too much. I do know that this is a map that League of Shadows, they play a lot. They played it last week. They had a tough game against Duplo on it. It was a good scrap there. But it seems to be, if not their strongest map, certainly one of the maps I'm most comfortable on, because they played it, I think, in both rounds of playoffs last season. One was a very impressive win against New Panzer, one was a pretty devastating loss 5-0, I think it was, against TF2 Easy. So they're not maybe the most consistent on the map, but it is a map they are comfortable on.
Yeah, I mean, I think every team is pretty comfortable with process. I mean, it is weird how, you can be really comfortable with a map because you just play it all the time in pugs and whatever. But then as a team, you're not actually comfortable on it. It's sort of weird that way, how that can work. But I wouldn't be putting too much stock in the fact that League of Shadows have performed well on process before, and VNC don't seem to have like the same kind of pedigree. They played and won games on process, I'm sure.
Yeah, what do you make of the change this season where you have essentially pick bans rather than the kind of gradual descent through all the maps through the season? Are you a fan of it?
Not really, but I also don't hate it. So I think that means it's a good change. But it is a change, and change is scary. And I don't know. I'm old. Things used to be cool, and now I don't get it. I'm not with it. The season changed names. It's all confusing to me, Dave. But no, I don't hate it. I think it's fine. It's not too big. I think it's just a bit of a hassle for not a whole lot of game. I would like to see them actually go through. If there are maps that we end up not seeing because people don't pick them, then I hate it. But I'm not quite sure if that's going to be the case. We'll see. We're live. Second map here. Let's see if we can have another scrap fight on our hands, or what's going to happen.
Tiram and KN very, very fast. Both the soldiers, they're actually going to find Delhi before anyone from League of Shadows is anywhere even close to mid. It's going to force them to pressure forward. They get some damage down onto Yak, but they've lost too many players for I imagine. They actually wanted to continue to contest here. Duo and Zoe's still in. They found both the scouts, and Zoe and Flick are really, really far forward. Somehow they've turned this around. Poi is now very, very low. Yak is there to defend his medic, but he's going to get cleaned up for it, but it does buy enough time for Poi to escape.
Yeah, pretty smart decision there to split up Poi and Yak. Poi could have run over to Yak and had him protect him, but I don't think it would have done much. He was much better off just escaping and hoping that they would go for Yak, which they did. Which leads to the question, maybe Flick should have gone for the medic instead of the demo man there, but I'm not sure how much information he had. I can sit here in bird's eye view and look through walls, so it's a lot easier for me to make decisions. So
he definitely saw Poi, but I think because Poi was on the high ground and Flick was kind of stranded on the low ground, he thought he'd just get that easy pick onto Yak and that would be enough.
Yeah, Ron's, he took a step in there and then found that his axis was stickied off, so he was sort of stuck in there. We do see another banner on a soldier. Process is not the best banner map in the world. Like trying to spam onto the second point when they're standing on top of the spire is pretty difficult. But then again, Snakewater isn't the greatest banner map in the world either. So why not? Why not just make it work again? Tim, he's out. He's pretty deep. Actually gonna get a lot of damage. Almost gets a kill as well. And I do love how these teams are just proactive in their plays. They're not sitting back and just waiting for people to do stuff to them. They're actually making plays of their own, even when they're defending last.
Yeah, Tiram's survived there and bought himself, a full banner now. He's quite low once more, so going to have to get arrowed up, going to have to get buffed up. Then they can maybe do something with this banner. It is going to be difficult to push out of process last. I mean, they have the pick onto Rods, but he's going to be up just about in time to defend any potential push outs. So at the moment they're just trying to make some work with Judy the sniper.
Duo did a sneaky jump in there Ron's going to follow it up and actually get the engineer. This is so weird. 3 players have gone down for both teams. This is chaos. Luckily for them, even though the engineer went down, the sentry gun is still there. That's going to take some time to take down. And somehow Delhi is going to survive that. But the respawns are about to come in here, so they can't really make anything happen. They did take down the sentry gun, so they're going to send in the demo man with the suicide. Gets destroyed by Yak and Tyrion there. All right. I respect the hustle trying to send in the surprise demo man sack. It's pretty weird, but I like it.
Yeah, there was definitely an opportunity there because neither of the scouts were up. I think Judy was up on sniper. And once the sentry went down, there was really no defense for the medic. The spawners just about came up in time for Venomcrest there, so they're gonna get control of last back. They have once more sentry gun being built by Nutsats. Lost Kayan and Judy though. So it's going to be difficult times just for a minute. The sentry gun is spammed down, but Delhi's had to take a lot of damage. We're going to have to go up. There's actually a scout, Zoe. It does get the force. I didn't quite see.
No,
where
they
Zoe
got the force before that. Yeah,
really?
They got the force before that. Basically, Zoe ran in, he stood in the bunker. Look, he was like standing there menacingly, okay? They all looked at him, and then Delhi just did a giga damage thing, and boy had to pop. And June just sitting back here. No pressure at all, so he's fine. It's going to be a full Uber ad. So really good play there. Basically off of the fact of a scout just standing behind lines because those guys are scary, dude.
There we go, Uber in through 3. The demo Delhi has struggled a little bit. There's still a heavy in secret that they're going to have to deal with. They're all just kind of feeding into that heavy, all getting eaten up by the Tomislav. And just feeding 3 kills to Juno there. And June, lone survivor, is going to have to run, but probably won't escape Nuthouse. Nuthouse on the chase, easy frag. That's going to allow here Venomcrest to push out with full momentum.
Oh, they might even be able to pick off these 2 soldiers that went out of spawn. Flick's gonna go down as well. This is one of the worst pushes I've ever seen. It is just, they went into last, lost every single player, lost their medic super late, didn't kill a single person, and now they get spawn camped at first, and they like went out of spawn and committed. And now they're gonna get rolled on out of second as well. Oh, actually, Kant is gonna get taken down. Maybe that's gonna take off the momentum just for a bit. But, yeah. Okay, Yak actually will end up being Ubered here as the demo man got the force out. They're going to push in onto the last. They don't quite have the second captured yet. This sentry gun's going to take a while to take down. Scouts on the point immediately, though. So much time on it. People are just jumping on it very aggressively. Scouts going to join, use capping. And I think eventually they are going to be able to get more pressure onto this. Soda jumps in, not able to get into the last work. Medics joined the fight.
So close.
Oh my god, these medics are fragging, and the soldier comes in and takes it down. That was a bloodbath, Dave.
Oh, that was great poise there from June. Both the medics had their melees out, scrapping on the point, but June's just making sure they stayed on the point to, not allow that other medic setting, because it was so close to capping out. It really nearly worked, and they're actually going to go and contest second here. Rod's just getting absolutely pinballed in the air, and the force does come out of June. Poise gone down to Duo in the meantime, just get caught in the choke. And yeah, while that has all kind of shuffled out, it's going to be Yak launching himself, and that's a nuke from Yak!
The airplane, that was a Stuka dive bomb. I don't know, paired up with like a Japanese Zero. He just blew everything up, including himself. It's going to be a single scout in here. And see if he can get some time onto the point. He'll probably end up just retreating after this, if I had to guess, when these soldiers come in. Yeah. Oh no, this is a mid-fight, Dave. That's what this is. This is what it looks like to me. Look at it. Everyone's just committing. Nobody wants to play it safe. We're in. This is a fight.
Yeah, the healing advantage is for Venomcrest, but they've taken so much damage just walking in, and tell that Ron's once more. Nuthouse is cleaned up as well. Soldier bomb. It's Delhi, sorry, coming in and cutting Poi off, and finds Yak as well. Suddenly Delhi's turning up. That's a complete wipe there in towards last spawn cap coming down from Delhi. And what looks like Yak and Salvage Summit on second has been just completely flipped around with super impressive transitions from League of Shadows.
Yeah, you have to question the decision to go in there and take the mid fight, so to speak. That was probably too aggressive. It's very difficult to make your way in there, especially when everyone's just kind of joining the fight, drip style. And that's going to be a pretty big mistake, and they're going to be punished for it. This Devilman's being just triple teamed. Somehow, okay, Deli does eventually go down. That was pretty mean. It's like 3 players all focusing on him. But Dwo, maybe he's going to be able to get some revenge. He does. Poise ankles gives out as he falls down to his death. June might be able to survive, but I didn't even have to finish that sentence before that was not true anymore. And there we go. Pretty substantial mid-win there, but they lost their medic.
Yeah, Tyram just lived with a sliver of health in sewer in behind and was enough to cut out June. Poi obviously did get fragged, so Uber's going to be even. I don't think there's going to be any quit streak shenanigans this time. But yeah, Venomcrest's going to take control of second. I don't think there's going to be any contesting here. They're just, League of Shadows just happy to sit back on last, get a sentry gun up, get a hold going, and probably build some Uber because, as we say, both medics spawn at basically the same time.
Yeah, there's a 10% ad, but it's very difficult to know about. You know, you can, when you have the bust, you can peek out, look at the enemy medic,
I think headshot.
Yeah, and if you don't get headshot, that's a great play, because then you'll know that you have a 10% ad, and then you're going to decide not to push on it. You know, you could do that, or you can just not peek and get headshot. So that's what they're doing. These medics are not dumb. Do you think Nothouse wants to play sniper? I'm just asking because he just ran into 6 players on a sentry gun.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Not the most disguised sack in the world, just literally throwing his life away. Gonna come up on some kind of off class. You would expect maybe sniper, maybe spy. We'll have to see. He's actually come back out on scout, so maybe he just fed for the fun of it. Maybe he didn't want as impressive logs this time.
Whoa, I thought he was just spy checking and spawn. But right now, he's actually moving out. He's flipping it on his head. He's want to be the big class instead. And he is right behind the medic. Oh, he's going to move in. Medic's still playing in there? No. Eventually not going to be able to do much. But Dro, he's still behind the med, man.
He's in position now. If he goes for some kind of decloak. Decloak is in. They've already got the foresight before the spy can make anything happen. He's going to get a nice little stab onto KN. But yeah, Uber's out of the equation. Slightly longer Uber for League of Shadows, but they're not going to get too many frags with it. I think it's going to be difficult for them to push out. They have a couple of picks onto the soldiers, means there's not too much spam here if they wanted to push out. But yeah, they have to be worried about potential backcaps, potential shenanigans. And yeah, Nuthouse in that cheeky Thalash hiding spot. Just going to back up as sees that there's no push happening.
Yeah, if we've learned anything from this match so far, it's that scouts can kill 3 players. No problem. We actually have Tyram on spy. He's going to make his way in. Slips through the front ranks, and he is in bunker already. Is he on... I don't think he's on Cloak and Dagger. Alright, he's just going to go... He's just going to go for the engineer, so... Hey, you know, screw you in particular, I guess. That's a thing.
Definitely some Highlander shenanigans when you have a spy backstabbing the engineer in front of a pyro.
Yeah.
So here we go. Uber is... Oh my god, the medic's being juggled by the pyro Uber, but Poi will escape through rollout because there's not enough players to cut the medic off. And Nuthouse wants to continue to pressure in through 1. It's a little bit scattered here and there. There's some fighting happening in 5 with Zoe winning.
Yeah, slightly obese scout takes out slim scout. There you go. Shotgun's better than scattergun. Confirmed.
I think it's, Frontier Justice. In fact, I'm not even sure if Zoe had quits, but didn't need them. But a little bit of a back-cap happening. Nuthouse is going to get cleaned up on it. They've caught Flick in the front lines, though, so that's always difficult times for League of Shadows. And Rons gets eats an air pipe, but there's so much pressure going forward. Yak trying to deny Rons, but doesn't see the other players just flooding forward and picking up Poi.
Yeah, I've got a criticize Tyrion there. Tyrion went forward even though they were a man down, and then he got picked off, and now everyone else just got picked off in return as well because of that. Yak's actually going to win the demo duel. Nuthouse is behind lines. Scary thoughts indeed, but he is pretty weak, so I'm sure it's going to be fine. They've captured out mid, no problem. Demoman could get spawn camped by him. That's a bit of a problem. They're going to send a scout back just to try and help him out, and so he gets the nice flank on Nuthouse there. Nuthouse didn't realize anything until it was too late. But there we go. June's just going to be left with a juicy Uberad, and they're going to be pushing the second point.
Yeah, Tyrion briefly seems to have a position to make something happen from IT, but they just kind of ignored him and he didn't go for anything in the end. Flick actually going to get juggled in the one that does force the Uber out, but Poise caught awkwardly, not being able to leave to spawn just yet, will escape, but the team won't as the cap actually just come in. Flick just walks back to the point and with the help of June caps it out. Again, really, really impressive transitional play.
Yeah, everyone just completely stuck in spawn there, unable to get out. And just once League of Shadows gets some sort of momentum, it just seems like they keep on riding that momentum until the very bitter end. And it is working out for them pretty well. Quick soldiers, actually going to eventually get the Demo Man. Might actually end up trading 2 soldiers for the Demo Man. We'll see if that's worth it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Junu's trying to take some damage, but it means Nuthouse was kind of alone forward high, just getting cleaned up by that blob of red players from League of Shadows. So that's going to allow them to take this mid-fight there. I think they finally kind of countered that kind of double fast soldier just by blobbing up and playing it a little bit slower, making sure the early aggression wasn't going to do too much. They were looking to move it towards second. Zoe sneaks in, going to get onto Poi. Poi going very, very low, but it's able to evade Ron's as well. So Rod's not able to find a rocket. It means 2 players have now been thrown away and allow a Venomcrest to continue to push the issue. Tiram and Kayan, both soldiers going down. Flick is in as well, finds Juno as well, so Poi's completely alone. Gonna pop the Uber out, milks it a little bit, but it's gonna be a much, much longer Uber here for League of Shadows. Can they chase? Oh, we'll have to see Deli in the air, landing behind, cutting off the exit for Poi, and that's very, very easy. Just have to keep June alive now. Nuthouse, I think it is, on the chase, trying to make stuff happen, but June's just going to be able to back up to mid here for now.
Yeah, again, just going for the Demo Man instead of the medic. They don't like Demo Man, I guess. Made some sense, I suppose. Nuthouse eventually does go down, but mid's gonna get capped out slowly. There's a soldier behind lines. They need to deal with him and as well as the scouts in front of them. This is very annoying. Tim gets Rons as well, and he is in this area. Okay, he does eventually get taken down. Soldiers camping that sewer area is so annoying to deal with because everything's a wall in there.
Yeah.
It's like the one part of the map where soldier is strong. It's like that and the other flank. Outside of that, soldier is trash on this map. So if you can put them in there, you're good to go.
Yeah, big balls from Deli as well to contest Tiram, who, he was taking some damage, but there was a health pack available for him. But Deli, no fear at all, but he's going to get punished with Nuthouse just jumping on that weak Demo Man. They're going to pop the Uber out. Poi kind of runs out into the Uber. I don't exactly know how that ended up happening. I think Poi possibly could have escaped just by holding S. But either way, they've scrapped enough frags here, I think, Venomcrest just for now. And they actually have June in their sights as well.
Yeah, that was poor play by Poi for sure. Way too far forward. Should know that he has an Uber disad. And he gets picked off. June still hasn't died. They're going to try and push in onto the second. They have the Uber ad if they want to just sit back. They're also up ahead 2-0. But I think we've learned so far that it doesn't matter what the score is at this point in the game. They're not going to play it like that. And they are just pressuring out everyone. If you step back one too many times, like League of Shadows, they will just roll forward. And they're in on last. Not going to wait for Uber at all. And Yak has gone down. Medic stuck in behind lines. Scouts and spawn. Yeah, League of Shadows are relentless with these pushes.
Yeah, they're really turning the pressure up now. You can see the combo from Venomcrest is getting disorientated an awful lot these last kind of 10 minutes or so, and every time there is an opportunity, League of Shadows are making absolute hay with it.
Yeah, very impressive. Let's see if we have a double soldier bomb again. We do actually. Takes down one soldier. Demo Man goes down weak, but not quite dead, which is pretty good. Scout goes behind. Eventually going to get picked off. There you go, Juno. Hit some nice pistols. Juno is still alive. Has one scout with her, a soldier as well. It's just Juno in here. Oh.
Tirama nicely waddled onto June there, but with missing the first 2 rockets, he just gave up. He knew the last 2. Couldn't make it. Either way, it's going to be a comfortable mid-win here for League of Shadows. They got the frag onto Poi as well, so going to be allow them to move in towards second. Venomcrest want to contest here, but they have to be aware that June is coming up close to Uber. Throw a few in, Juno and Tiram both getting caught, and nowhere near the force for it, so it's going to be moving in through 1 here.
Yeah, they're just going to move forward with full force here. They're going to delay the second cap a bit, just move that scout forward in their push. And they are getting some kills out of it. Medic is caught out completely. Surely he's going to go down. Scout's on the point. That's actually the real action there. Doesn't really matter what's happening elsewhere. Again, Venomcrest Python have just completely lost the ability to stop these pushes when they go in, because like June is not popping in or anything. They're just pushing in before they get a chance to be stickied out or something spammed out. They're just in really early and really boldly, and that's working out for them.
Yeah, next mid-fight, Duo is dueling 2 soldiers, but will be able to jump. Oh, not quite over there. Yak had very nicely placed stickies to clean him up, so it's going to allow Venomcrest to do something here. Flick actually gets eaten up by the soldiers as well. I don't know if they have enough, though. Zoe in a prime position to pick up the frag onto Poi. June is dueling with Nuthouse, needs to get back to the rest of his team. Delhi. Oh, they're going to be able to just about swivel out of there, but there's 2 scouts in the chase, nice and healthy, although Rons finds a nice rocket onto Juno. He's going to continue to fight Nuthouse, who hasn't found his way in just yet. Is now with the help of the soldier. Tiram finds a pick onto Duo, but June is still alive, and it's going to just about get outside. See, very messy spawners coming in all the time. Tiram's in behind as well onto June again, and gets a drop.
Wow, this mid-fight is still going, and it is weird and awesome. As eventually Venomcrest Pythons are going to be able to take this. They do lose Tiram. They're unable to get back to his team. So we could see another in here. Oh, it's Poi on crits? Is that what I'm hearing? Oh, he is. That is sneaky.
I think Poi had actually spawned on crits for the mid-fight, but now it's going to be probably more impactful as they've actually been able to build it up. It's going to be Yak going in through the Al-Qaeda area. Doesn't see too many targets just yet.
Oh,
Snipe from Zoe.
Yeah, he's just doing so much work, but they're just going to pop this crit screen. They are like, get out of here. Go away, stupid sniper. We don't want you here. And he is going to go away and get taken down as well by Tiram. But that crit screen didn't really do a whole lot. It did scare them off, but that's all it really did. And they lost a lot of players. They're going to have to be pretty far back right now. And Soldier comes in onto the medic. Somehow June is alive again. Scouts on June though. Who gets shoot off again. Man, this is painful. They just cannot get June. And Poi again is just deep. Like, Poi commits with his team every time. And he's dying a lot.
Yeah, the amount of resources they're having to throw in to just try and get June, and they're not even finding the medic half the time. Just masterful medic performance so far. Because, you like to see medic performances when you get in 3 deaths, you get in, tons of Ubers, whatever, but this is almost a more impressive when it's such a scrappy game, such a close contest, and yet just preserving the life as best as possible.
Yak just mulched everyone in that tiny little choke. That was not good from anyone involved. Oh my god. Get Rons as well. That's a 3K if I ever saw one. Just gonna cap it off with a nice shot as well. everything important kind of happened before that. Flicks in behind 2 shots, Junior. He was waiting around the corner. This backhand is definitely something that's going to annoy them to no end. Because the spawners are coming in here and blocking. Flick has been dealt with behind lines. Medics in the skybox. Poi! Alright, not going to end up in a fragment, but I'm pretty sure he's going to die. No?
Somehow did greater. Somehow wasn't cleaned up either. I don't know if it's a nice little wall bug or not, but either way, Poi is somehow going to escape there despite being launched in the air. No hit scan to clean the medic up, and here we go there. I mean,
Kayan hits the nice air shot and doesn't get the kill, and then he gets taunted on. So that's some good stuff here. Zoe again hitting some shots, but eventually getting picked off. They're holding so far forward. Like, look where Poi is holding. He has no fear. And Tyrum's, is that Tyrum's going in? Yep, Tyrum's going down as well. This is absolutely insanity, just how aggressively they're playing this.
yeah, it's kind of descended into this classic kind of 4-0 pug scenario, and both the scouts are going in with the Uber. They're going to pick the Uber gun up as well. Actually retain 60% hit point, but you can see that League of Shadows have something to say about it. Yeah, Deli is above, Flick is in behind. Does pick up Poi. Junior, Tiram, the 2 survivors on mid. Tiram is actually just spawner, so Junior gets cleaned up. And yeah, despite a clean Uber, getting the medic very, very early, the post positioning from League of Shadows was more than enough.
Tyrum, he wants to go for plays, but he keeps bunking his health. It's unfortunate. We have crits on June again. Why not? Might as well win in style here. And I don't know. I can't think of a real good reason. I mean, it was even Ubers, and when you spawn on even Ubers, then you can go critical. You can have an advantage. Poi again leading the charge. Maybe not the best play as a medic. I'm just putting it out there. So sometimes, you know, just let your team do the pushing for you. But can't fault his enthusiasm.
Yeah, the rest of his team were less enthusiastic to die though, when he kind of just allowed Poi to go forward, allowed Poi to die. And as it is, Jude has the crit streak. They're going in from one. It looks like it's going to be onto Ron's. Going to find one easy frag onto a very weak KN. Tiram's clean up as well. Not too much being done with the crit streak, but a lot of zoning action. As the cap is going to come out, there's going to be no contesting really from Venomcrest. And there we go. Eventually we get that 5th round and a clean 5-0 win for League of Shadows.
Yeah, very, very different map 2. Seemed like they got rattled pretty heavily in map 1, but then they slowly figured it out. Kind of got the upper hand, and then there was just no breaking this train on process. They were just a better team on this map. So maybe your theory on process being a strong map for them is correct, and I'm a dummy. Or maybe it was just the circumstances of the match that just kind of ended out for them, where they adjusted, and then they did really well. I really did love watching them play because of how aggressively they were pushing. I feel like a lot of great teams in the past used to do this thing where they would play very, very aggressively and take a lot of space, and they would use, you know, their skill and DM to take small advantages and push off of it. Whereas these days we've mostly seen them do the opposite, where they just shut everything down. So I enjoyed this.
Looks like we are going to pull up some logs, and it's pretty difficult reading for Venomcrest, I would say. League of Shadows, both those scouts just going absolute ham. 29 frags for Flick, 30 frags for Zoe. But yeah, the big thing for me, obviously, the difference in medic there, 6 to 13. But just as I said earlier, the amount of effort that Venomcrest had to put in any time they wanted to kill June. I mean, they got onto June quite a lot, but half the time they'd escape and ended up with a lot less deaths than the enemy medic. But they consistently had Ubers, they consistently had advantages, they consistently had heal advantages, and as we said, the transition play was just super impressive. They really made the most of it.
Yeah, full agree on every single aspect of that. Can't really say too much about it. Like, great scout play coming out from Flick and Zoe. Is Flick like a superstar scout yet? I don't know. He didn't dispel that myth today, that's for sure. But Time will tell. I'm still very excited to see how he plays. He definitely played really, really well today.
Good showing today, and a good showing from Tiram as well. Throwing out the largest damage numbers for his team. Actually, if you sort by damage, it's literally Tiram, then the 5 damage classes.
Oh yeah.
For League of Shadows, and then the rest of the Venomcrest boys. So Tiram doing his best to carry, but wasn't quite enough on this map.
Yeah, also had 24 deaths. He was very aggressive. Tyrion was. So, I mean, when you're hitting your shots and doing a ton of damage, then it's fine. It's just kind of fun to see. Because I wasn't expecting Tyrion to have high damage at all, just from looking at his gameplay. Because he was just always in the skybox, trying to get behind, being like super duper aggressive. But apparently he was doing a lot of damage. And, gotta tip your hat for that.
But yeah, overall, definitely League of Shadows coming out looking a lot stronger, particularly on this second map. Bodes well for the rest of the season. There's going to be tougher challenges to come, I imagine. Venomcrest getting 0 points here today, sadly, but have definitely shown that they're going to be able to compete with pretty much everyone in the division, I imagine. And yeah, we got any last things to point out or talk about, Bisa?
Well, League of Shadows are now number 1 in Prem. Depending on what TF2 Easy did today. They also played, I guess. They're joint number 1 in Prem right now. So enjoy that, League of Shadows. We'll see how long it lasts. But TF2 Easy, Witness Gaming, and League of Shadows are your top 3 in Prem right now. Very early on. Halfway through week 2. So we'll see if they can keep up the top 3 positioning. You definitely pointed to them as probably one of the teams that could do it. So.
Yeah, definitely. If they continue how they were playing on Process, I think they'll be more than a match for anyone. But anyway, that's been week 2 of E2F2L. I've been Dave, joined by Beta and Dr. _ doing a lot of great work behind the camera.